All right, on today's episode, we are going to be diving into what is the real reason why people buy, and what is it that we can do to really stand out and give a luxury experience so people feel amazing about the money that they're giving us in exchange for the value that they're receiving.
Yeah, so all about creating that luxury retail experience. So if you've ever had a client in your chair or a client at your salon and you see your stylist educating them about the product, and then all of a sudden they pick up their phone and they're like scrolling on Amazon or scrolling on another site saying, oh, wait, we'll see if I can get this cheaper, or hey, I'm just going to buy it later. And so, why is it that that happens or occurs sometimes through the buying experience? We're going to really dive in deep to that today and teach you like how can you create that luxury retail experience so that guests know exactly who their touch point is when it comes to taking home their hair and skincare products.
I love that. And, I remember one of the very first luxury retail experiences that I had was, I had my eye on this Yves Saint Laurent bag for a long time and, had kept going into the store and, checking it out and set a goal for myself and decided like, hey, once I hit that goal, that bag is going to be mine. And so finally the day came where I got to go in, and keep in mind too, like as I was going in to look at it, they were still offering me a beverage. It was still a wonderful experience. But on the day that I went in to buy it, they of course, were more than accommodating to help me try on anything that I wanted to inside of the store. And, we're offering beverages, champagne, water. I can't remember what the selection was, but and then when it came time to purchase, they took the bag and they wrapped it up beautifully, put a bow on it, put it in a bag. And the it wasn't like your traditional, we're going up to the cash register, punching in numbers, and telling you the total. It was, here's a book with your total, give you the total, I give you the card, they take it back, then they bring it out for you to sign. And just the presentation of your bag inside of all of these bags and boxes and everything was just a wonderful experience, and I think to me, it really stood out because I had never made a purchase like that before. And, just the excitement even of going home and unboxing it, it was like I almost couldn't stand it. I wanted to unbox it in the car already and already be carrying it around. But it really is just a memorable experience when you shop in a luxury store like that.
Yeah, I think I was there with you, Linz, and I remember that
Yes.
same experience, and I was like, "Wow." Like, I remember when you got it to the car, I was like, this is gonna be my new niece. I'm just gonna rock it like a baby because she's so beautiful and so elegant." And it was just like all the little touch points that we
Mhm.
had during that experience that I think made the bag even more valuable than it was.
Totally. It's like, you almost don't even realize like how many feelings that you associate with an experience, and I think to me that also helps deliver on that value. And I think, sometimes like if we haven't had an experience like that ourselves, like if we can put ourselves in, even if you go in to a luxury retail store, and purchase like socks or, look online and see what's something that has a really low cost, to just get that experience and see like, hey, there's probably no difference in the experience if you're buying socks versus if you're buying their most expensive bag or whatever their most expensive offering is, and just seeing the feelings and that connection that gets driven into that experience. I think that really can set the stage for what you can create as possible inside of your company as well.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the psychology behind purchases. So we're going to let you in on a little secret, the top secret that you're going to want to know. And that top secret is people buy because they want to. I say that again. People buy because they want to or they feel like it. And emotions are such a primary driver of purchasing decisions. Like to be compare that emotional shopping experience, like Lindsay's bag. Maybe there was a dupe or duplicate at Walmart for a lot less money, but that emotional experience of having that luxury experience, helped her to even feel like the bag was valued more. Because when you think about Walmart, nothing wrong with Walmart. I've been to Walmart. I've shopped at Walmart. Walmart definitely serves its purpose at times, but Walmart's about convenience, low prices. People buy what they need there. When you're walking into like Gucci or Saint Laurent, like Lindsay was saying, it's more about exclusivity. It's about status, indulgence, and people buy there because they feel special, they feel important, and they want to feel luxurious.
Yes, I love that. And, because I think it's important to point out, like, hey, that bag probably wouldn't carry anything different or make you show up any different inside of the world um, versus the dupe at Walmart, like you just mentioned, But I think what it does for you, like you said, is it makes you feel special, important. It's almost like, you're saying to yourself, I am a badass and this is mine and I can do this in the world and I, can create incredible things and the value is there for me, because I think truly people buy to eliminate pain or to engage in pleasure. And so really, like when you are able to explore those different motivations behind either avoiding pain or seeking pleasure, it really helps you understand that consumer psychology. Because, some people might be purchasing, let's say, for example, hair extensions in your salon. Some people might be purchasing it because their hair is so thin, they're trying to avoid that pain that they're experiencing in their life. But others might be thinking, gosh, I've always wanted to have, thick, luscious mermaid hair, and so they might be purchasing to really seek pleasure, you know? And so I think really just getting clear on those two psychological things, of the eliminating pain or engaging in pleasure can really help you amplify just the way that you speak to your consumers and the way, that you think about your marketing efforts and how you're going to bring the right clients in for the right services.
Yeah, I love that. I love it's either about eliminating pain or engaging in pleasure. And so, when I was referring to earlier, when I mentioned like a client's in your chair and they're like, you show them this great product or your team shows them this great product and they're automatically looking at Amazon for the product to purchase. And I think a lot of times what happens is we're not delivering that value for the guest. When Lindsay was just talking about like when you buy a luxury bag, it's actually wrapped in that paper, which is put in a different bag, then it's wrapped again, put in a different bag. So it's all about that presentation. And I think the most important thing you can do is if you really learn to create a solution for someone and you really help to eliminate pain, they don't care what the price is. They know it's important for them. And that's going to make them want to feel like they want to buy it because PS, people are buying. Like if you scroll TikTok, like you will see like 17, 18-year-olds selling products. I'm like, okay, if they're selling products, then I know this is possible for our team. Like people are buying, they're looking for those solutions to their hair challenges, to their skin challenges, to make their life more simple and more efficient and to give them their hair and the skin of their dreams.
Yeah, I love that you talked about that because that 18-year-old creator on TikTok, first of all, they don't even care what the product is. They're just like, yeah, I'm seeing these dollar bills coming in. And, I would say that the people on our teams, feel the exact opposite. Like they truly want to be able to deliver amazing results for the guests that sit in their chair, the clients that come into our companies, And so I think that that's just a really good thing to point out. Like, hey, if you don't help solve your guests' problems, your clients' issues that they have going on, if you're not looking at their pain points and trying to help them seek pleasure as well when it comes to their hair, skin, nails, whatever it is specifically for you inside the beauty industry, you are not stopping them from purchasing it. Because there is an 18-year-old on TikTok who doesn't care. They're going to sell them anything that they can under the sun, And so just keeping it in mind, like, if you are not trying to serve your guests to the highest degree every time they come in and find out what it is that is painful for them and find out, how you can make their hair, skin, nails, whatever it might be, whatever they're trying to upgrade, make it more pleasurable for them, then you're not preventing them from buying. You're just preventing them from buying from you. And so, really diving into that and trying to create that experience for them to where, they have no problem parting with the money that they've given you, and they really feel like, wow, I received high value. I've never had somebody dive into my problems this much before or help me find a better solution.
I love that you just said that. And you're probably thinking, oh, this is great, Jen and Linz, but you know what? I've told my team this and they just cannot connect to that part because I've been there. I understand. Like they just cannot connect to that part of perceived value. So, this could be a really huge opportunity to maybe even go on a field trip. Maybe it's even if you do have a local Gucci or something within distant driving distances to like go in and buy something and like take your team with you if that's possible, or to a fine restaurant. Lindsay and I were just
Mhm.
at a restaurant here in Charlotte not too long ago, and the next day, Lindsay said, "Hey, we went to Steak 48. They called and wanted to know about our experience." And she's like, "That's the
Mhm.
first time that a restaurant has ever called and followed up." And I said, "Yeah, for me too." I said, "That's
Mhm.
amazing." So, like, those are the little touch points that just help, like, your team see that perceived value. If I give you $1 and you give me $10, like that's going to be a good day. So how that
Mhm.
luxurious retail experience helps increase that perceived value. Do you have a really nice display? Are your stylist service providers asking the right questions? Because it has to go beyond what do you want to do today? Like that
Mhm.
gives me chills when I hear that. I'm like, that makes me sick to my stomach. That's not the worst thing you can say, but like, let's really create your dream hair plan today. Let's really create your dream skincare plan today, or whatever it may be, by continuing to ask the client questions really helps to draw information out, which really helps you to create that diagnosis, that prescription for them that's going to help solve their problems.
Yes, I love that. And you might even be thinking like, what is it exactly that people are buying to get? Like, because usually when people are buying something, they want to get something on the other side. And of course, sometimes it is the actual product itself, but sometimes it's, a few different areas. And one of those areas is access. And so sometimes people want to buy to get closer to a person, event, or even a feeling. And so, when you've gone as far as to creating the brand that you've created inside of your company, a lot of times people want to be a part of that, and I think that that's also why statistically, when a service provider leaves to go to another salon or suite or whatever it is, like if somebody moves on from, a lot of the companies that we work with right away, the salon usually keeps about 30% of the clients that that service provider was handling, mostly just because, you've created such an environment that, people want access to your environment. They love the feeling that they get when you're in your space. They love, knowing that there's other people that they know who go there, and that's why, you can create an experience similar to like Gucci, where it's like you're offering access to an exclusive world, so whether it's like you host VIP events in your company, or you have limited edition products, or you're exclusive with some brands that they can't get everywhere, or, you're just offering those personalized services or experience for people, you know, people really want to have closer access to some of their favorite people, and I think that that's also true about like TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that. People pay to get closer to their favorite creators by buying their products or supporting their ventures, and so the same thing can happen with your own brand. When you start to create that luxury environment that people want to have access to, they will pay to have that access. The price tag isn't, as shocking, because you might pay, $2,000 for a bag at Gucci, and you might pay $24.99 for a bag at Walmart, and they both still hold stuff.
Mhm.
They both, kind of technically do the same thing. Sure, one might be Italian leather and one might be pleather. There's different materials that might make up stuff, but truly what it comes down to is like the access, the feelings, all the additional things that you subscribe, that you place value on as a consumer. And so thinking about that, inside of your environment, like how can you create that space where people want to have access to you? Because they know that they are going to have the best of the best, and always have an amazing experience.
Yeah. And so people buy to get acknowledgement as well as access. So when you think about acknowledgement, is the need to feel valued and important. So, if you walk into Gucci, probably one of the first things they're going to do is greet you by name. They're going to offer you, a beverage. They're going to like go over and above for you. Like you're going to feel like you are somebody just literally rolled out the red carpet for you. Where you go into Walmart, we've all heard of those beautiful Walmart greeters, welcome to Walmart, and then you just kind of walk through the gate. And so thinking about that acknowledgement piece is like, what are you doing for your clients to make them feel valued and important? Knowing someone's name has so much power to it. Like working with your team to learn names, to either do some safe social stalking if you have a new guest so that you can put a name to that guest as soon as they walk in. Like that's the power of really creating that connection to someone. Because luxury experiences make clients feel special, and it makes it feel like what they're paying is worth the investment. They're actually getting more than what they're paying for. And I think when you create that acknowledgement and that experience for them, they're going to be certain they want to buy for you because you are creating that space for them to buy.
Yeah. And, I think this is totally a stereotype, Jen, but it just like stands out for me when you're talking about acknowledgement. I think a lot of nail salons, when they greet you and acknowledge you, will just greet you by saying, pick out your color or whatever it is. It's like, wait, what? Like, I actually came to buy a gift certificate. Do you guys not sell those here? And so I think a lot of times we can get in a hurry inside of, even a salon company and, say something like, did you have an appointment? Or, hi, what was your name? Or, you're just like in check-in mode and you forget about this acknowledgement piece and really paying attention to that personalized attention. And like you said, learning somebody's name before they even come in. There's, it's with modern technology, you can do that. And, it really is that wow factor for somebody that really sets that apart because, that's like a basic human need. Like, do you see me? Do you hear me? Does what I say matter? And so when you can already start out by like, hey, we see you, we know you, we've been awaiting your arrival, you are already setting the stage for creating incredible value for that guest. And you haven't even touched their hair, skin, nails, whatever it might be that you're about to provide for them.
Yeah. Okay. So the other part of the reason people buy to get is achievement. And so we've all had some achievements in our life, and so achievement is just in a sense of accomplishment or of being someone special. So when you have that experience that you feel different, like you feel like a better person when you leave a space or a business, like that's the kind of achievement you want to create someone. Purchasing luxury items symbolizes success or reaching a certain status. And so when you think about your higher end brands in your salon space, like what are you doing to create that extra value? Are you doing the scalp analysis with a microscope? Are you doing the style strategy with your cloths? Are you looking at face shapes? Are you even helping determine like what lipsticks are going to be best on them? And so when you create that for them, they feel like, man, I feel super special. And you've probably seen this on TikToks where people showcase their hauls or their forms of achievement, and whether it's the latest fashion trend or maybe it's a limited edition product. So like they see that all day long while scrolling, and so why not create that space in your salon companies as well?
So good. And so really like you might be thinking like, how can I create a luxury retail experience today for my clients that come in and help onboard my team on this experience that we're going to create. And I would say step one to that would be just designing the environment. And so really thinking about the physical space of your store and the feelings that you're trying to create. So think about the senses that you want people to experience, sight, sound, touch, just all of the sensorial experience that you want to create for a guest when they walk in your door. So you might look at, I always love to have some sort of like a table right away in the entrance when you walk in, that almost kind of like stops people in their tracks, that lets them know like, hey, this is a retail experience as well as, hair, skin, nails, whatever it might be. So something that's a little bit more high end, maybe some nesting tables. Pay attention to kind of the lighting in that area, really truly in the whole space. Like if you're looking for ways to upgrade your space, lighting and flooring and paint are three of the top things to really wow in a space, and if you don't have that in your budget to really focus on those things right now, setting some goals for yourself to get there, I think is key, and then thinking about like just those little luxury components in those nesting tables, maybe if you have some trays, putting either some beans or black rice or something as the base for some clips, or even, laying out some products that, almost look like a little Instagram worthy picture, doing some different things, creating some cute little things on Canva that aren't, that don't look dated, that look very modern, to kind of showcase what are some new product offerings that you have, or, do you have a, complimentary gift with purchase this month, or whatever it might be. Just really thinking about the environment that you're creating. Does it make people want to buy? Because we've all been in an environment before where you're like, I want to buy. I don't even know why. I just want to. And that's what we were trying to create for our consumers, so that right away, like you've already lowered their resistance, where they're like, I want to buy in here. It smells good. It's clean. It's just a really inviting experience already.
Yeah. And the other aspect to creating a luxury retail experience is training your team, which we mentioned a little bit earlier. And I think this is the one that like takes a lot of consistency and, a lot of, you can't just say it at one salon celebration and never say it again. So just really role playing it with your team, role playing at salon celebrations, role playing at grow sessions. Like, how do you create that luxury language? How do you create that luxury experience? And like, if there's a certain way or expectation that you want to do things, just like at Saint Laurent, where Lindsay was talking about her bag, the certain way it was wrapped, like if there's a certain way your retail products are wrapped, like have a video of that. And so, like, anytime someone gets stuck or needs to know how to do something because they're lost, they can refer to that video, and that saves you so much time when it comes to training. And so, this is just something that you have to consistently work with your team, and always using your space to elevate what you already have as well. Build that foundation. And then once you build that foundation, you can add little tweaks and things to it to make it even better.
I love that. And, it's almost like you would never ask a guest if they wanted a shampoo. I would never ask a guest if they wanted you to package up their products, because I think that that's part of that experience for sure. And so making sure that your team is on board for that is incredible. I think the third portion to just really creating that luxury retail experience is just curating your offerings. So, you want to make sure that you're offering high-end products that align with your luxury experience that you're trying to create, and, talk with your guests about how exclusive these are to you guys and to them, and how that's important for you, to make sure that you're offering the best inside of the industry, and then just even talking about like just different seasonal collections or limited edition drops or whatever it might be. Just really making sure that you're talking about those offerings, curating different ones for different seasons, running some sort of a different promotion every about 8 weeks inside of your company, I think is huge. And that doesn't always mean sale, because there's going to be 7 different buyer types. We've talked about that before, where some people want to be at the front row in the concert and some people are looking for free tickets. And so when you're thinking about that as, a salon company owner, really thinking about like, hey, how do I hit those categories that want to be towards the front in a concert, who, and a lot of times, like, they're not necessarily always the bargain shoppers. Sure, you'll want to have some sort of a special here and there to kind of capture that audience as well. But then don't forget to showcase the latest and greatest. I think some people get really stuck in that sale mindset, but a lot of consumers want to know what's new on the market, what's the latest and greatest, and that's what they want to purchase as well.
Yes. All right. So just let's recap exactly kind of what we talked about today when it comes to creating or crafting that luxury retail experience. Remember, this is the most important part is clients buy because they want to or because they feel like it. the perceived value and what the purchase represents, whether it's access, acknowledgement, or achievement. And so I would invite you to just become a client in your space, like schedule a blowout with someone, and see like what are the touch points, what are the points of difference that we could add a taste of luxury, to make this feel more elevated. Because at the end of the day, the guest wants to feel that they got more than they paid for.
Hmm. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We would love for you to subscribe to our podcast, leave a review, or even just share this with somebody you know who might benefit from it. And just a reminder, luxury is in each detail. How will you make your clients feel today?